Good day. This is Mo Pest Control back at you. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are staying warm. And the northern side, we have, the weather's getting chilly, but that also means that mice are coming around. So this is a part of the rodent series, once again, to give you precautions about certain things in regards to rodents. Now, this here is going to be an important topic that you should know if you have a mice infestation of any kind. If they are finding a way to get inside of your home, this is the health department topic of mice rodent control. Very important. I think you should know these things. For you to know these things, you would try your best to prevent mice from coming inside your home. So mice and rodents obviously feed on food, and what they have to do, they have to regurgitate it out. Those things will cause a lot of danger on your health and on your home. Now, my story on this is that I've done many mice treatments. And when I go to a repeated customer and they have not cleaned up the droppings, that is very dangerous, okay? Because the feces, they get hardened, they dry out, and it becomes a powder, and it is airborne. So it is very important to clean. And I'm going to give you the steps on that. But first, we're going to break down what these disease cause, okay? So, number one, we have salmonella. It's spread by rodent feces. You're consuming it. If it's on any objects of your house, in your kitchen, and you're consuming that, it is spread by the feces and it is dangerous, all right? Also, we have the bubonic plague, bitten by fleas, fed by infected areas of a rodent. So, again, this here is cases where the rodent, the fleas are attracted to the rodent, and then from there it bites you. Okay, this here, once again, is a way that is transmitted, and it can cause a big issue if you have a rodent problem. Um, so this is just the bubonic plague. There's other situations where you know you have it where you're consuming this stuff. So again, you have the hairs of the mice. The mice are rolling across the stove. There's a lot of cases where rodents crawl under the stove. So when I check to see if there's a rodent issue, one of the areas I check is number one, behind the stove, of course. Number two, I'll lift up the frame of the stove to see if there are any droppings. There's droppings there. That you're consuming that, especially when you're heating up the stove, it's already dried out. So now it's being consumed. Now, if you have a high mice infestation, and it's the summertime, it's automatic that fleas are going to come in as well as ticks. So these type of things need to be controlled. And the only way to do that is to get a pest control professional if it gets out of hand. But if you can do it yourself, just use all the necessary things that you have to do, such as closing up any gaps, setting traps out, and also baiting. All right, so I'm going to talk about the symptoms that you receive if you have salmonella, which is diarrhea, fever, abdominal pain, and fatigue, and fever in muscle areas. So these are all symptoms that you might receive. If you're getting this and it's outside, if you're working hard, obviously you'll get that. But if it's extended, you need to look into seeking a professional physician for this. Um, Now, the most important thing for treatment if you get sick is you seek, obviously, medical attention. If you're, like I said, you have these conditions and it's prolonged. If you have salmonella, it takes up to 5 to 7 days, and drink fluid. All right. And the bubonic plague is pretty much the same thing, but you have to seek a professional, and they have to um, identify your feces. You have to do certain tests. I'm not going to get too discreet, but there's tests that are needed in order for them to treat for that. Now, the most important thing about this is the second important thing. The first is prevention. The second is the knowledge, and then there's prevention. All right. Well, excuse me. To know, to seek help, and then prevention. So, removing it. First and foremost, have your proper protective equipment, the PPE. Number two, you have to sterilize. Uh, some races use bleach, a lot of bleach. Hey, it helps. Anything that would clear contamination around your home. Also, your paper towel, wiping it down. It's all just that simple. Especially if we've taken care of a pest control professional, or if you have taken care of the problem, then it's time to wipe all that stuff down. But if you're in the middle of it, old droppings is better than new droppings, so to speak. So just be on top of cleaning up a lot. All right. Please, please, please do not let that build up. Please don't let it build up. I don't care if it's in your basement. Make sure that you stay clean and stay on top of it. Of course, remember, if you're staying on top of it, you can also uh, stay on top of or get updated feces if you're still having pest control issues. How do you know if the old feces is messing with the new feces? We as pest control professionals don't know that. So you need to just stay on top of it. The way that I know, when I go to here's a story of when I see a customer and they have droppings. When I have my protective gloves, I pick it up and I rub it, and if it's crumbling, that means it's old droppings. And of course, if you have if to get updated on any other issue with droppings, you do the same thing. And if it's gluey, whatever, that means it's new droppings. But you always have to clear it out. And pest patrol, pest control professionals do not clean that up. It is your job to clean that up. So that's my update for in regards to health and mice and rodent control. Very important. Stay on top of it. That's all I have. Enjoy your day.